Good evening, guys. I want to create another video tonight, kind of in addition to the video I made and posted today about pandemic questions. We're stepping into this space where we really get to let go of caring what we trigger in other people and what other people think of our decisions. I've been doing this more or less since mid-March last year, either not wearing a mask or wearing it not over my nose. And there's still days where it's uncomfortable for me to feel the energy of people who fling hate or fear my way. But at the end of the day, guys, like I talked about in my last video, we gotta step it up because this is just the beginning of what's being flung at us, okay? But it's a good thing. I mean, you know, I am of the mindset and of the energy of like, bring it on, let's fucking go. What's next? Oh, you're gonna try and restrict me from flying? Let's fucking go. Okay, I guess I'll drive. What next? Bring it on. What's next? You know, but you know, however you do it, I mean, I look up at the sky and look at the moon and the stars and the sun during the day, and whether you remember or not, there's so much more to our existence than just this human life. I'm not saying to devalue this life. When you realize that there's much more to this existence, you live this human life you're currently in right now to the fullest. You take empowering risks. And you realize that your attachments to what other people think of you are really irrelevant. And you start to question, well, wait a minute, if this family member, if this friend, even if it's a friend I've had for many, many years, this coworker, this teacher, yada, 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 whatever, this person in the grocery store that I'm passing, if I'm trying to care so much about what they think, number one, you're devaluing your own essence, your own experience, but number two, you start asking yourself, well, why am I doing that? And if it's for love, validation, a feeling of belonging, what is the risk or what is the cost of that belonging? And if it's giving yourself up, which in many cases it is it really worth it to you? Because I'm telling you, for someone who's given themselves up before for belonging, it's never worth it in the long term. Never. You will become a shell of yourself if you're doing things you don't want to do so that you can get love and affection, because at the end of the day, you'll realize it's not love. If you're sacrificing any part of yourself to fit in, to receive love, that ain't love. That's a trauma bond. And what's going on now in the world, in many relationships, most relationships are trauma bonds. Most family relationships, most friend relationships are based on sacrifice, are based on struggle, are based on giving up a certain part of yourself in order to stay connected. But I'm telling you right now, it's vital for people to let that go. It's vital for people to see the bigger picture of their life and to breathe through the fear of consequences of what it means for you standing up in your truth, standing up in your opinion, standing up to your uniqueness. Because I'm telling you, the world is in desperate need of your uniqueness. The world doesn't need more people to comply with the mainstream, with the status quo, with what everyone else is doing. Those days are over. So where are you shrinking yourself? Where are you caring so much about what other people think? And again, this is the backwards part about it, guys. If you're shrinking yourself, if you're trying to change yourself to impress family members, friends, coworkers, whoever it is, other human beings for love, that's not love, it's self-hate. It's not worth it. At the end of the day, that catches up with you, whether you your body falls into disease, or you come into lack, or you live a very meaningless career. It catches up with you. At the end of the day, you're not trusting your own genius, your own uniqueness, your own voice. It's gonna catch up with you. But the beautiful thing is, many of us have incarnated in certain situations that have allowed us to be with that suppression, where we betray ourselves so that we know so that we have the desire and the contrast to move towards the other direction, to move towards trusting ourselves and seeing the worthiness within ourselves, and standing up for that voice within us. It's a very exciting time. And we're going to be asked a lot. We're going to be asked to really step into our role the next 10 years and beyond that, really. But this is just the beginning. You're going to be asked to step into your joy. Because when you're in your joy, you are not controllable. And the current game that is operating in the subconscious, in this enmeshed, trauma-bonded, codependent society right now, is to care so much about others. Wear your mask so you don't kill grandma or the person in the grocery store. Get the vaccine so you don't infect anyone else. Even though it's backwards. You know, if they work, you have nothing to worry about, but that's another video. Socially distance so you stop the spread for the 99 point whatever percent effect or virus that that's 99.9% recovery rate effective. It's not about care. It's about control. And a lot of Americans, and even just, global people, global humans, are under the spell that it's about health, that it's about care. And they're blinded by their enmeshed relationships, by caring so much about what other people think of them, about what their employer, their boss thinks of them, so they don't get fired, because they're riddled in lack and fear of not having enough or losing their job, because they don't think anything will come about if they lose their job. They're so tied to that one income stream. They're so tied to that one idea of making money, of receiving. So cut off from their own abundance. But when you reconnect with your own life force, there's never any lack. There's no dis-ease that takes over your body. There's no loneliness when you're connected with Source. There's no unfulfillment in your job or purpose or however you spend your time. One of the biggest illusions we're collapsing is this idea of giving yourself up so that you can have love. It's an illusion, folks. It's an illusion. But again, we have come here to experience the moving away from that illusion. Can you honor that? We are here. I'm telling you, whether you remember or not, we are here during one of the most exciting, I would say the most exciting time in human history, where we take our power back and rise from a third dimensional state to a fourth to a fifth dimensional state. It's crazy. And if things don't make sense to you, if you're still kind of living in a very anchored 3D state, this is the time to question things. Because when you question, your awareness increases. And when your awareness increases, you start to tap into higher dimensional truths about the world, which have very little to do with slowing the spread of a virus. Have a good night.